Welcome back to Aus Highlander, hosted by Team Cockmagic. I am Sully. Today I'm joined with Luke Mulcahy.
G'day.
And Tim Dolphin.
Hi.
Alright, so on the left, playing on the CBR playmat is Richard Owens playing his very iconic Storm deck. And on the right, playing on Team Cockmagic's playmat, we've got Jared Allsop playing Twin Moon. Let's talk about the points that Richard's playing, and then we'll move on to Jared and what points he's playing.
Yeah. Well, Richard's almost all Storm decks play 4 points Black Lotus, 3 points Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah, it just keeps it nice and simple. 2 cards pointed, and then find cards to fit in the rest of the deck.
Yeah. He's playing a Doomsday Kill. He's not playing, what's it called, the Epic something, the reveal a bunch of cards, cast the instants and sorceries. He's not playing Ad Nauseam.
No Ad Nauseams.
No, he hasn't got the Bomberman combo. Jared Allsop, as the name of his deck would suggest, is playing like a blue-red control deck, but also with a Splinter Twin Kill. I expect Jared to take this match out. He's got counter spells to stop Richard from going off quickly, and Jared also has like a decent clock because he has can threaten the combo kill, and cards like Glenlandra Archmage are basically game over as well.
Yeah.
However, I think Richard has tweaked his Storm deck to be resilient to Blood Moon. So Jared might be expecting to be able to get Richard with a Blood Moon, and could just lose if he tries to cast the Blood Moon.
And Jared's also playing Back to Basics, which Richard's played around for the same reason.
Yeah. So that's a portent from Richard. If you guys don't know what the card does, it's I believe it's Ponder.
Yeah,
but
so
you
look
don't
at
draw immediately. Draw.
So it's look at the top 3 of target player's library. In the next upkeep, you draw a card. So it's seeing a lot of play now in Topless Miracles Legacy as their engine to try and start their miracles. So they get to look at the top 3 of their opponent's deck and then order it in an order they want to change. And then in the next upkeep, they draw 3 cards. Draw 1 card, sorry.
So Jared, clearly knowing that Richard's on a combo deck by bolting in a turn rather than saving for a creature. Richard, I noticed he's got a Hymn to Turok in hand. His efforts to try and play around Blood Moon and Back to Basics slightly hurting his curve here.
Yeah. And was that a repeal that he's
Yes,
just
on
done?
his own Lion's Eye Diamond.
Wow.
For the extra draw.
Yeah, he just wanted to cycle it. So Jared putting down his counter wall here for 1 turn.
That is Imperial Recruiter.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what do you call it? Sorry?
No, he's tapping out.
Oh, yeah,
So
sorry,
but-
I missed that.
However, Jared does have a Force of Will in hand, so
Yeah.
he's hoping that Richard's going to go for the combo whilst the shields are down, and then he'll have the Force for the tutor.
Yeah, so you could see Jared was contemplating grabbing a Deceiver Exarch, but decided to go with the Snapcaster Mage from the Imperial Recruiter.
He hasn't got the other piece in the hand, so he'd rather just effectively tutor for a counterspell in Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, which feels really good. And it looks like he's got the Judge Foil Imperial Recruiter, which give him a lot of respect for that one.
There's
Looks
a
like-
Knight's Whisper.
Yeah, Richard's not going off this turn.
He's just still building his hand.
Yeah.
So Knight's Whisper is pay 2 life, scry 2 cards, draw 2 cards, is that right?
No scry.
No scry, just
No
for
scry.
2 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the original Sign in Blood, but
Ah.
Sign in Blood's double black and targets. So.
This is the downfall of the Storm player, is trying to figure out the line of Storm that you want to do.
Sculpting your hand
And,
to
yeah.
ensure that you're not discarding, but that you keep the amount of Storm count up.
Yeah.
So Richard normally would keep the Lion's Eye Diamond in hand there to maintain Storm count on his Storm turn, but he actually had 8 cards, so he played it out.
Yeah.
No 4th land from Jared, unfortunate for him.
But he does have a Blood Moon in hand, you can see.
So I expect Richard him to Turok this turn. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. He'll probably go fetch a basic swamp off this Delta if he plays a second basic swamp.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
One swamp.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, only one basic.
I think he still casts the him here using that Water Grave, I believe it is.
Yeah, if he keeps the second swamp in the sideboard.
Alright, Ponder first, yep. That's a Doomsday off that Ponder.
Yeah.
So Richard's got his win condition there. But resolving it's going to be the problem. Oh, no, shuffles away. Okay, he must already have a win condition in hand.
So with his Doomsday, I'm looking at his list. It doesn't look like he's playing the stock standard. You win the game if you have no cards left. If you can.
No, he doesn't.
What is that card called? The creature.
Laboratory Maniac.
Yeah, Lab Man. That's right.
No. Richard just wants to set up so he can get a high storm count by Yawgmoth's Willing, and then kill the tendrils.
Yeah.
And there's a number of Doomsday piles that you can arrange to get that outcome.
I'm not envious of Richard playing a Doomsday deck for an entire day because I've played it for a small tournament and my head hurt a lot after that.
Richard's had a lot of practice, so I'm sure he's spent many nights just sitting there in front of his computer watching TV whilst goldfishing his storm deck.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jared hasn't either. He didn't have a counterspell that used mana for that him to Turok. So either it could be that it's interesting. Yeah, so Richard might be thinking the coast is clear here. But he wouldn't have the mana to go for it anyway. Jared deciding to put on an extra clock rather than say that Snapcaster for a counterspell that he might draw. There's his fourth land.
There's Glenalandra.
But he's tapped out and the force is gone. I think, I'd be surprised if Richard can't go off here.
Yeah. He's in good position to take the game out here.
I believe Jared had a Venser Shaper Savant in hand.
It did look like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't keep that up rather than playing the Glenalandra, but so he's got Thirst, he's got Lotus Petal, he's got a bit of gas here. I think Richard could definitely take this, provided he gets a bit lucky with the top of his library.
So it might have been a misplay by Jared, but hindsight's always 20/20. If we look at his deck, it does look like he's playing Venser.
I saw it in his hand.
Yeah, you saw it? Yeah.
No, he's just playing the clock, looks Jared. He's playing the idea of just getting out the creatures quickly. He's got his opponent already down under 10.
Yeah.
That just increases the clock just that little bit faster.
Yeah.
And when if you know you're playing against a storm build, generally speaking, you want to try and kill them quick.
So, as we were saying, just trying to work out if Owens can try and win the game right now.
Yeah, it's hard to deduce what's going to happen without seeing his hand.
Yeah.
But given that he's got his hand on his head and fretting so much, he's got a few options and none of them are clear.
Yeah. So, not sure if we should start counting Storm, but it looks like Owen's going to start getting his Storm counters out. Storm count being one.
You've got to present the fact that you've got the Storm or not.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to hold back.
Is there anybody out there?
So looks like he's going to add a green and maybe a blue to his mana pool. But he might go red.
Interesting if it's green. Nostalgic Dreams is the only card that comes to mind, but that one's double green.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to recast the Manamorphose from his graveyard.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, Storm's just doing his thing. Alright, so given Richard's body language, I reckon he's going to get there. He's like starting to speed up his procedures.
Yeah, he's seeing the line and he's going to have to go.
That's
through it.
Reign of Filth for you guys that don't know. It's basically lets you sack lands to add a black.
Yep.
For the rest of the turn, I think. I don't think you have to do it as it resolves. Clearly not. Cause,
No.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it looks like he's sacking lands.
We can get up to
As
the
he goes.
text.
Yeah.
The only thing he's got to play around now is days.
So it's an instant. Each land you control gains the ability, sack this land, add 1 black to your mana pool until the end of turn.
Okay,
So
there you
you
go.
don't have to do it in response.
Interesting choice using the Git Probe
Oh, looks like
after sacrificing his land, but cleared the way. He knows he's free now.
Yeah.
Apologies, guys. Jared just revealed his hand. He did not have Events of Shape as well in hand.
Yeah.
I must have just misread. That's bad of me. Oh, green. That's what it was for. Bring to light.
Bring to light. So he's now creating his Doomsday pile.
Yeah, it's going to involve Black Lotus,
Tendrils.
Yawgmoth's Will, Tendrils.
So Jared's on 19 right now, so he needs to get his Storm up to at least 9, 10 to essentially kill Owens.
Richard's Lotus is the most beat up Lotus I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You look at it close, yeah, it's just trashed.
And it looks like it's been sharpied on.
Yeah. But it's still a Lotus.
It's still Lotus.
still
So
Lotus.
I still keep on myself.
Yep. So showing how he's going to win, representing it, so
Yeah.
they don't have to play through it.
Yeah, Jared being a generous good sport, not forcing him to play it out.
I always advise people that are versing Storm, if a Storm player is going off, have them show you that they physically play Tendrils in their deck or in their board, because we can all learn from LSV for going XO in a tournament, making top 8, and realizing in the second round that he actually was playing Storm without Tendrils in his deck. So he was storming off and then was telling his opponent, yeah, I'll go grab Tendrils from my sideboard. And the opponent would just scoop and go, yep, yeah, that's fair. And he actually didn't have Tendrils in his deck. And he completely forgot to bring it in.
So post-board gets a little bit interesting here, because Richard can expect that Jared will take out some of his burn,
Yeah.
because Richard doesn't play any creatures for the burn to hit. So Richard needs to decide if he brings in some of his creatures like Dark Confidant to try and get some card advantage and overwhelm Jared's counterspell wall. However, Jared's burn can go to the face.
Yeah.
And, with a few flash creatures here and there, it can be a relevant clock. So, it's just a fine judgment call that they have to make.
Yeah. He'll probably also bring in the Carpenter Flowers because that will generate a lot of mana for Owens.
Certainly, yeah. We got to look at what Jared was bringing in. I expect he'll bring in some of the cheaper Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast to counter such things like Fact or Fiction from Richard Owen, and Richard's anti-counterspell counterspells.
As well as the Negate.
Yes.
That would see play.
Yeah.
And the Flusterstorm.
Yeah. It's funny, the game the Storm decks have to play when you're versing a blue deck, because if they have Extract,
Yeah.
you can't afford to board out all your win conditions. I think Richards has access to Empty the Warrens, perhaps Brain Freeze, and obviously Tendrils of Agony. I'm not sure if he's going to have 2 post board. But
Yeah, so he doesn't have Empty the Warrens in the list that I'm looking at.
okay,
He does have Mind's Desire, though.
does he have Brain Freeze?
Just looking through, I'm not seeing a Brain Freeze at all either.
Alright, so he's very exposed to Extract if that's the case.
Yeah, which is very interesting. But I suspect Owen will bring in City of Solitude.
Yeah.
Each players may play spells and abilities only during his or her turn. That feels like it would be really good in the control matchup.
Yep, then it just becomes a tempo war.
Yeah.
The Storm having the higher tempo.
So in that last game, I think, Jared missing land drops hurt him a little bit. Also, Imperial Recruiter just being a bit too slow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I feel Jared will bring in one of his favourite cards, Teferi, in this matchup maybe.
Yeah, certainly.
So Owens can't crack his LED and then respond to it by playing a spell. Or playing a spell then responding with LED cracking. I also reckon that he'll bring in Hush Mentor just to get an extra damage maybe.
Yeah, a bit of a clock.
Yeah. It's
Hush doesn't stop them from going off, but you can get a little trigger off fetch lands here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Against Sensei's top as well.
Yeah.
That's Opt from Richard, trying to stop his hand. He's drawn a Carpet of Flowers, but no green source as of yet.
Which will not look good. So there's a Flooded Strand. I assume Jared will very much counter the Carpet of Flowers if it's going to come down.
Yeah, if you can. And Richard's passed the turn.
Looks like that 3 was Mana Drain. It looked like a Judge Foil Mana Drain. Mountain and I think it was Daze was in that 3 for the Brainstorm.
Interesting that Richard didn't find a tropical island and cast the Carpet of Flowers there. Perhaps he's trying to bait Jared into putting more islands out on the field.
Yeah.
But I feel like Jared, he's going to have to play a lot of islands anyway. Perhaps Richard's got a 2-cost instant, like an impulse that he's going to cast end of turn instead of the Carpet of Flowers. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, try and bait the counter spell out to ensure the Carpet of Flowers lands.
I can't imagine Jared counter spelling an impulse, but
No.
but I know what you're saying. Maybe if it's like Spell Pierce or something. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm also not sure that Richard Owen even plays Tropical Island, to be honest. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because Jared can just hold up the counter spells for Richard's tutors. And if Richard doesn't go for it, then Jared can just end a turn, play a Clique or a Snapcaster Mage or a Venser and progress his board, put the clock on.
So it looks like a Bloodstained Mire in hand. So Mana Leak in the Duress, which was a nice bait.
Carpet of Flowers.
So something quirky about Carpet of Flowers is that it triggers at the beginning of your main phase.
Yep.
But either main phase. So if you don't use it, you don't use the trigger in your first main phase, you can elect to trigger it at the beginning of your second main phase.
Yeah, so it goes off, but if you do not use the mana in that main phase, you can elect to trigger it in the second main phase, which is really interesting wording.
Yeah, it's they would definitely not print a card like that these days. It's a Nostalgic Dreams. I'm just going to get back Opt and Duress. So green X. Oh, sorry, just green. Discard X cards, regrowth X cards. That's what Nostalgic Dreams is. So perhaps that's why Richard didn't play the Carpet of Flowers the previous turn, is because he was waiting to have clear the way with Duress. That Sulphur Falls from Jared Allsop helping against the Carpet of Flowers.
Yeah, taps for blue, but is not an island.
Yeah. I don't believe he plays Cascade Boss, though.
No.
the Blue Moon decks definitely want to utilize all their mana late game, and they can't afford to have these come into play tap lands
Yeah.
such as
No.
Cascade Blast. So
We can hear Richard is actually talking about when Carpet of Flowers triggers.
yeah, they're discussing the rules, the interaction we just spoke about.
Yeah. Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So the answer really is that no, if you use one of the mana that you've generated one thing, you have to use all of it essentially, or it disappears in one of your main phases.
Yeah. Carpet of Flowers are also particularly good against Blood Moon because fixes your mana.
Yeah.
So both players just developing their mana.
So throwing down a duress with one of the manas that he's produced, and he looks like he's representing that he's made 2 black mana from the Carpet of Flowers.
Yep. Okay, the way is clear for Richard. Let's see if he can go off this turn.
So in that fact or fiction, we've got Glen
Alandra Archmage.
Archmage. We've got Mystic Confluence, one of the new cards from the Commander's sets. Get Probe, is that Get Probe? Yeah.
Yep.
Gataxian Probe, Snapcaster Mage,
Mage.
and Dak Faden. What piles would you guys sort those
Good
into?
question. I probably should have been thinking about that. Well, it depends what's in Richard's hand. I don't think he can go off this turn because he's really stressing about how he splits these, unless he expects Jared to have the Force in hand. I think Richard's scared of the Glen Alandra the most.
Yeah, and the Mystic, I reckon.
Well, Mystic Confluence costs 5 mana. I guess he can still end of turn draw 3 cards.
Yeah, so
Jared's got a mana leak in his graveyard for the Snapcaster. I guess we've seen the piles here, so
I 100%. That is exactly how I probably would have split it.
okay. So no Force.
But he does have is that a Pyroblast?
Got a Pyroblast. No red.
So yeah, that is a
so-
Judge Foil mana drain there.
Down the bottom, yep.
Yeah. So he's taking the drain.
Interesting that Jared let the duress resolve and he exposed himself.
Again.
Yeah, but that's a judgment call he had to make to see if he thought Richard could go off or not. He reckons Richard couldn't go off, and therefore, let the duress. Therefore cast a fact rather than holding up mana drain and Pyroblast. Yeah.
So it looks like Richard is going off. LED doing a lot of work.
There's Tudor.
Yeah, this big game here.
Yeah. So the Infernal Tutor reading, reveal a card from your hand, search your library for a card with the same name as that card, reveal it, put to your hand. If you're hellbent, so if you have no cards in hand, you just get to Demonic Tutor for a card. So casting it in response, cracking his LED, forcing him to discard his hand. Now he's hellbent. The Infernal Tutor checks, are you hellbent? Yes. Search for your win con, essentially.
Alright, well, my prediction of the match was incorrect. I think first game, Jared just stumbling there on lands a little and kind of drawing his anti-creature package rather than his anti-combo package.
Yeah.
And this game, Carpet of Flowers went a long way for Richard, allowing him to kind of out-tempo Jared. Jared also made the judgment call to cast the Fact of Fiction rather than having a duress hit the counterspell and have him have a second counterspell ready, but
Yeah.
don't think that Pyroblast would have saved him anyway had he let the duress resolve.
Yeah, it was a bit of a misfortune for Jared, but Good luck to him in the next coming rounds.
Yeah.
And good luck to Richard. We get to see what they're sideboarding in. But we are going to sign off and move on to round 4. Take care, guys.